Hello everyone and welcome back to Bladesong. Okay, so we are in the main menu because, well, I have been training myself a little bit on sword making basically. I have made a couple of extra swords. For example, I have made this one. It is a bit more complex than I used to make in the game. Unfortunately, we don't have most of the skills unlocked in the story mode, but as you can see, I have been practicing. So this is something that I put together as a, well, an original sword, but I also made this one, the Highlander. Well, this is basically the sword from the Highlander movie, not the katana, but the claymore. Okay, I managed to make the MacLeod inscription more or less okay. Unfortunately, the serpent or dragon motif was a little bit beyond my abilities, so I just went with these runes, and you know, it's a decent replacement, and I think I made a decent job. So I just wanted to show you that yes, I have been practicing, and hopefully today we can put this one into practice in this story mode today. So anyways, in the main menu, and let's load the game where we left off. So we are right here. Well, we only have 6 points because, well, we had to help out after the attack. Let's take a look what we can do today. So we cannot do Oliver no matter what. We have Alasana. Let's take a look. Approaches your anvil, has a sharp, quick eyes. Alright, she wants to go into the Lost City to find stuff. We could. What about you, Joshan? Alright, this one again. She is looking for something to protect her daughter with. And Jacob's, a claw-like hand grabs your arm, belonging to a man with a wild beard. Right, the crazy guy. I don't think I want to help him because, as I said, he looks a bit too unstable. He might attack someone who, well, just trying to get by, so I don't think I will help him. Plus, he's asking for a black pigment, which we don't have, so no. Joshan, you are only asking for wood parts. Everything else I think we can do. Okay, let's go for Joshan. We have enough wood. I am not sure about the steel. We need at least 12, but we might go over the limit. I guess we will see. Let's just get started. And as usual, we will start with a... Okay, before we get started on the blade, let's take care of the hilt. So we need 2 points of wood, and everything else is optional. Okay. I would like to save on steel and resources as much as possible, so I think I will use the hilt or the guard that has the least amount of weight, which means we might, we can get away with using less steel for it, so that's fine. And wood. You know what? Let's try to save on this one as well. Let's just use this one and make it as small as possible. That should do it. Just make it a bit longer until it is one-handed, and that will do. Okay, we still need to use 2 wood, but that's better than 4. And unfortunately, this is only enough for 0.8 amount of wood. We need at least 2. I suppose I will turn the pommel into a wooden item as well. Okay, so this is not going to be steel, obviously. This is going to be made out of wood. There we go. So that is not enough points, but 2.2, that's a bit too much. And shrink this one down. Okay, so that is now 0.5. If I make it a bit longer, and that's as long as we can make it, a tiny bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be the handle. Let's just turn the actual handle to use the same wood, and that's it. Right. I think this will do. Okay, so the blade. Now I would like to put a little bit of flourish on this if I can. So first things first, the length. Okay, just barely long enough. I don't want to go overboard with this, obviously. So next up, we need to make it a lot thinner. Okay, I will go as first. Give the blade an edge, or first a point. We need a narrow point, that's fine. Okay, that will do. And next, let's take care of the cross section. Need to be 3 sharp. Now, oh yes, this will lower the stiffness. Okay, so first, make it sharp enough. Not what I wanted. Okay, fine. Maybe a little bit wider will do. Okay, now we are sharp enough, but stiffness is not increasing fast enough, so tell you what, make it a bit narrower, maybe this much, and make it a bit thicker. Okay, now it's stiff enough. Now just a tiny bit more width and we should be in business. Yeah, there we go. Sharp enough, stiff enough. I think we can call this one done. Alright, might as well give it a tiny extra flourish. We did unlock, and let me see, tilt mode, we did unlock engravings. So tell you what if we put a small circle on the end of the crossguard? Yeah, I think this will do. And one on the other side as well. Unfortunately, they don't automatically mirror, but that is understandable because these swords can be asymmetrical, so we have to put everything mirrored all by ourselves. So that will give it a bit of extra flourish, that will look nice. And maybe on this wood as well. Yeah, sure. A little bit of decorations will not go amiss. So, right. It is a long enough, sharp enough, stiff enough. It has enough wood. One-handed, narrow point sword. This will do quite nicely. Alright, I think we can call this one good. As for the name, let's call it the infant. Or, you know what, no. Big brother. Yeah, I think that fits a little bit more. Or, you know what, it's a small sword. Little brother. Yeah. That name I am happy with. Alright. Offer this to Joshan. He weighs the weapon in his hand, nodding with satisfaction. The little girl coos in delight as it gleams in the sun. Good. Hopefully this will encourage any wolves to find a softer prey. Thank you, Smith. You're welcome. And we are completely out of points. Not much we can do today. Let me just take a look. We are completely out of steel. Since we don't have any points, we cannot break anything down. I suppose I will wait until tomorrow. I will only buy what we really need. So yeah, let's just close this one, end the day, and I think today I will go for a bit of exploring in the Lost City. You discover the ruins of a bathhouse. Its proud columns ensnared by vines, its mosaic floor smashed, and yeah, we have been here before. Yeah, let's just take another look. Your footsteps echo strangely, yes I know. Private chamber, yes I know. And another leather bag. And find loot in the lost city 5 times. Okay. First achievement apparently. Okay, continue. We can go home. We will open the bag in the morning. Okay, as the grey light of the dawn filters into your tent, you hear the tramp of boots through mud. The alarmed cries of your neighbors. Something is happening. Watch out, Smith. The guards are in the camp. I think they are here for... Your tent flap is torn open. One of Eren Keep's guard peers in, swords drawn. You, out. As you climb out into the night, rough hands seize you. Looking around, you can see a full squadron of guards have ventured from the outer gate. Led by a woman with thin black hair and a severe glare. She is standing over your anvil, contemplating it with an unreadable expression. That's him, Sarge, the one who's been arming the applicants. You recognize this fellow as the same guard you spoke to at the outer gate. There's a tree over there that looks a good height for a noose. Shall we get started? Uh-oh. Wait, what? You're going to hang me? This is all a great misunderstanding. I never meant any harm to anyone. Lower your weapons. There is no need for this. Wait, what? A guard was killed in the riots, and 2 more are in the infirmary. All thanks to you arming this rebel with blades beyond their station. You were the one who told me to prove I was a blacksmith. Were you more comfortable bullying refugees when they only had sticks and stones? I was just trying to make a living, nothing more. You were the one who told me to prove I was a blacksmith. Shut up. He looks ready to say more, but his commanding officer raises her hand. The guard shuts his mouth instantly. Wherever you get the idea, we were going to hang this man, Corporal. But Sarge, the guardsman is dead. Someone has to pay. The applicant who killed Briggs has been slain, along with 6 accomplices. Justice is done. If you blame the smith, what's next? Find the man who dug the ore and kill him too? Sarge, one more word out of your mouth and I will have you flogged. You were supposed to be on the lookout for a swordsmith, and now I see there was one under your nose for who knows how long. Rank incompetence. The guardsman suddenly seems very interested in his own boots. So, what do you want from me? I told you I was a blacksmith, fool. Give the guard a smug look. So, what do you want from me? You have no use to Eren Keep if you are an untalented smith. Make a sword for me. Something I will be proud to have on my hip at the parade ground. Ooh, okay. If I'm satisfied with the quality, then congratulations, you are Eren Keep's newest swordsmith. If I'm unsatisfied, maybe I'll let the corporal here hang you after all. The guardsman brightens up at that. I will forge a blade to make you the envy of Eren Keep. Wait, you are planning to hang me if I fail? For what crime? My sword's helped fight off the monster that attacked the camp. Do I get no credit for that? Yeah, let me see. We don't care about the herd out here. Oh jeez, nice people. The way I say it, it's good if something comes along to thin it now and jeez. Nice people, right? Oof. Bring the sword to me at the outer gate when it's done. At a shout from the sergeant, the entire squadron settles on their heels and march back towards the gate, jabbing spears at any applicant who gets too close. Okay, not very nice people, but they are my ticket into the keep. Let's take a look. Sergeant Glenn. Okay, 13 steel. Okay, ability missing. Curved blades. And not enough steel to start. That's fine. So we just need to spend a couple of extra days to make some extra swords. And then we should have what we need to unlock that skill. And then we can make the sword for her. Okay, well, we are completely out of steel, so we need to pay a visit to the peddler. So let's start with that first. I will buy, I don't know, yeah, 30, 40 pieces of steel. And I suppose we could sell something. We could sell this pendant. But she was asking for a sword with gold and silver. But we already have some gold, so I suppose I will sell... No, we have $200, so I don't think I will. It's fine. In fact, if you really wanted to, we could buy something. No, I will only buy these if I have to. Thank you. I will see you later. So. Okay, so we have everything. Ooh, she's asking for 5 wood. That's a lot. Right, so we need something to unlock curved blades. Let me see, we need 830 XP. Let me see. Well, it will take at least 2 days apparently. That's fine. Let me see. A nervous looking woman approaches your anvil, constantly glancing over her shoulder. Her movements are quick and jittery, like those of a haunted animal. Someone's been following me lately. Out to the latrines or when I go scavenging for mushrooms. I don't know who, I haven't seen their face. Okay, you... Can you make something I can draw quickly? Yes, I will consider, but first... Okay, we can only do one of these anyways. Lincoln. The man at your anvil is a careworn face. The chatting... Okay, another one of these guys. Griswold. The grave robber. No. Empira. The woman who approaches your anvil has sharp, quick eyes, never scanning her surroundings. Yeah, she just wants to go into the lost city. Okay, I think I will go for Natalie. Walnut brown. We don't have that one, unfortunately. Okay, I cannot do this one. Unless I go without coloring it correctly. Okay, unfortunately, I want to make every sword as good as possible, so no. Lincoln? Lincoln we can do. He's only asking for stuff from this Smith's companion. And... Hero maybe, but no, let's do Lincoln. Okay. XP wise... Yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's go for him. So, he's asking for 2 stuff from the Smith's companion. That's fine. Let's start with a hilt. A small hilt. A small handle. Yeah, that will do. And a small pommel. In fact, I will try to make the hilt a bit more tapered so it fits a bit better. Let's go with this one. Yeah, that will do. Now we just need to hammer out the blade and that's it. Let's get started. So, change the length as usual. That will do. Next up, a regular point. Yeah, that will do as well. Next up, thinner, maybe wider, but he's not asking for stiffness, he's asking for speed, so I think we can make this one as thin as possible. That will do. And 2 points of sharpness. Okay, it is already 3 points sharp. Now we don't have to go all the way to the middle of the blade with the tapering. So tell you what, let's make this one a bit nicer. Let's put some flourishes on this blade. So first things first, I will move this one up a bit. Like there. Okay, so as you can see, now we have a bit of an extra raw steel at the start. Maybe go this far. Yeah. Okay. Don't go too far with this. Change the spine width, yes. Go backwards with this. Only need 2 points of sharpness, so yeah, that will do. So this part is fine, but we could also, there we go. Let's change the shape of the taper towards the actual edge. So let me see. Oh, I think I like this one. I think I will go for this. Yeah. All right, let's hammer it out. Okay, so this one already looks quite alright. A lot more interesting than it was before, but I think we can change a little bit on the point as well. Right now it is basically converging right at the tip, but I think we can make this one a bit nicer. I did see a method on Discord, on the official Discord, and I think we can make this one a bit more interesting. So I believe all we need to do is add one extra piece of cross section and bring this one up all the way to the end, I believe. And I think we need to bring the original down like this and add a small taper to it like this. There we go, finally managed to do it. Okay, so now the actual blade or the edge doesn't converge right at the tip, it starts going down here. I think it looks a little bit more interesting that way. Okay, I think we can call this one good enough now. Unfortunately, we still cannot polish, so it's not very visible, but hopefully it will come through the YouTube compression. But anyways, I think I'm pretty happy with this blade now. Yeah, a lot more interesting looking than we had before. Okay, I will name this one the Father. Sure, why not? Okay, hopefully this will do. Good, hopefully this will encourage any wolves to find softer prey. Yeah, I know. Okay, we have 3 points left. We are very close to finishing up. We only need 330 something points. Well, we are running low on resources, so I think I will break a couple of stuff down. For example, these heavy shackles should give us a bunch of extra steel. 12, better than nothing, I suppose. We have enough wood, we have enough leather. Yeah, let's go for the tools. Those should give us everything we need. There, that's 18, lovely. And 11, not as lovely, but still decent. Oh, right, and the leather bag. Let's see what we have. 59, not too bad. Could be better, but you know what? It was for free, so it's fine. Okay, we are out of points. Let's just go to bed. Or... Okay, we have made some money, so that's fine. Do we want to go for another Lost City expedition, or maybe go around the camp? Maybe we can visit Chev. You know, no, let's just go for the Lost City. A forlorn residence hall catches your eye. Its once bright window as empty as the eyes of a skull. Yeah, let's look. The resonance hall is mostly stripped bare, no sensors, no silver candlesticks. Your footsteps echo oddly in this silent chamber where the song of creation once rang clear for all to hear. Okay, so apparently Resonance Hall is a church or temple or something. Good to know. Well, as far as I understand, this song and voices is the old religion of the world. So Resonance Hall does kind of make a sense for a name, I suppose. Anyways, something makes you pause. An inscription on the floor, written in an ancient language. 50%. Well, fingers crossed. Success, very good. The inscription is written in Old Nurian, the semi-secret language of the Anointed. You are hardly fluent, but you are able to translate the words stone and heart. Ooh, an ornate box. And 90 points, nice. That likely refers to the hall's foundation stone, which lies nearby. Wheeling around its base, you discover a hidden lever. The stone slides aside, revealing a small chamber containing the offering box. Ooh. Well, this looks a bit more interesting than a leather bag, so this one should have quite a bit of something inside, I suppose. We will check in the morning. Find your way back to the outskirts. Okay, no new events, so I think we can get started, but first, let's take a look. Okay, we don't need any points to open. Let's see what's inside. $102, not bad, but that's all. Well, you know what, I am not going to complain. So, hopefully today we will have enough XP to unlock the curved blades, and then tomorrow we can make the sword for the sergeant. Let's take a look. So, Kark. Smiling Man approaches your anvil. He stands out as conspicuous. Yeah, he is the protection money guy, so I am not going to help him. Leia. The customer at your forge has a greasy smile and empty eyes. I need a proper weaponsmith. I've come to realize that you can get far in this world with just a rusty little knife. If I am to claw a decent life out in this chaos, I require leverage. And in times of these, nothing provides leverage quite like a yard of sharp steel. I mean, greasy smile, empty eyes. I don't like the sound of that, but he will give us gold, which I suspect we will need for the sergeant's sword. And Griswold is the grave robber, so tell you what, let's help out Leia. She's only asking for some stuff from the Smith's Companion, one-handed narrow point, and sharp. Yeah, we can do her stuff. Let's go for it. Well, as usual, take care of the hilt first. Make it as small as possible so we don't have to spend too much on it with resources there. A small handle. That will do. And for pommel, let's go with this one. Let me see, 18 steel. That's 2. What about this one? 21. 19, that's 3. That's a bit much. 19. 17. Okay, this one will only cost 1. It doesn't look quite right with this hilt. Unless I make this one a lot smaller and just use 2 of them. So something like this. Yeah, still 2 wood. Let me just make the front one tapered, just for the sake of, you know, the steel sticking through. Let me see, let's use this one. Wait, that's oval, right? Oh, that's a round. What about this one? No, that's a round as well. Which one has the round ends? This one. Okay, fine. It will stick through a little bit. Not much we can do about that. We still only have to pay 2. It will not be as nice, but it will do. Right, blade mode. So it needs to be just to be sharp and a narrow point. Okay, it is as long as it needs to be, just barely. So there we go. Next up, the thickness. Since it doesn't have to be, it just needs to be sharp, we can go as thin as possible. There. And you know what? Let's do that flourish again with the cross section. Ah, okay, so the original taper needs to go all the way to the end, and then we just need to apply a second one. Okay, good to know. And this time around, I think I will go for this one. Yeah, maybe a little bit closer to the point, like this. Yeah. Okay, so the original edge needs to go all the way to the end, and you just need to add one at the tip. That's it. Okay, anyways, we just need a tiny bit more sharpness and we are done. Just tiny taps until we have what we need. Okay. There we go. Fine. It is a very, very narrow flat piece at the top, but it's still there. That's fine. And that will do. Okay, all the way to the tip, and that's it. I will leave it here for now. I think this will do. So, this is for an adventurer going into the Lost City. Let's call this one the Lost Soul. Sure. The sword is taken, admired, then stowed away. Very nice. This should prove quite persuasive. The world's not fair, so it might as well be unfair in my favor, right? Oh right, not going into the Lost City, she is just self-protection, okay. Well, hope it protects you. And we are level 6. Nice. Obviously, I will go for curved blades. That is what we need to do the big job. So there we go. So let's take a look. Sergeant Glenn, 7 points, 13 steel. We are only missing the action points. We have the wood, we have the gold, we have the silver. Just need to be sharp, two-handed, narrow point, slightly curved. Alright, let's go for it. Let's end the day, and I will pay a visit to Chev today, I think. Oh wait, go back. We have 3 points, never mind. I mean, I suppose we could do some repair jobs, but yeah, just break some stuff down. It's fine. We have enough leather, so I will do the drum and tankards. So that's 10, 8, 1 silver, nice, 9 wood, and 3 leather. Yeah. And now we are out of points. Okay, now we can go and pay a visit to Chev. End the day. So, go to the camp. First, wander the camp. Ooh, Clodo. You spot Clodo, Bennett Monder's dog, digging up a bone from the mud. When he notices you, Clodo runs up, wagging his tail. Then he dashes off, pausing to look back. Does he want you to follow? Examine the dog first. Poor Clodo doesn't look in the best shape. He's gaunt, flea-ridden, covered in scabs, but he's alive. Well, obviously I will follow him. Not much choice we have, anyways. You follow Clodo through the rubbish tents, covering your nose to keep out the foul smell of death and disease. At last, you arrive at the spot where the Monder's tent used to stand. Now there are 5 freshly dug graves in its place. Beyond, you spot a small figure crouched over a dwindling fire. Alright, I should have buried them, but there was no option for it. Approach the boy. One of the children survived? Ah, yeah, Sandrick. You recognize Sandrick Monder, Bennett's eldest son. If he recognizes you in turn, he shows no reaction. His face has been etched into a permanent scowl. Clodo runs up to the boy's sides and lays down. The boy scratches his neck absent-mindedly, poking at the fire with a stick. Sandrick, do you remember me? I know you. He says nothing more. His voice carries far more weight and grief than is right for one so young. Well, I don't need to ask, it's pretty obvious. I'm sorry about what happened to your family. Is there anything I can do to help? The boy gives no reaction. Clodo whines and rubs his head against his shin. Share some scraps of food. You pull a hunk of bread from your pocket, your meal for the night. The boy's eyes light up. As though afraid you will withdraw the offer, he quickly snatches the meal from your grasp and splits it in two. Half goes to Clodo, who snaps it up with 2 bites. Thanks. The dog nuzzles into your flank. growling contentedly. Obviously we'll go hungry, but are we going to have enough points for the sword? I guess we will see. But you know what, might as well ask. I suspect this is going to be the last time we see him. He simply shrugs. Looking around, you can see no evidence of his family. The once vibrant Mondar clan has been reduced to one. Well, two. Clodo is here, comforting the boy as best he can. Bid goodbye. As you turn to leave, the boy speaks up. If you come back and I'm not here, look after Clodo, will you? The poor dog's got no one else in the world. Clodo barks, his huge tongue lolling out of his mouth as his tail beats dust from the floor. You leave the two of them together, boy and dog, alone in a hostile world. At least they have each other. Speak to Chev. You find Chev sitting outside her tent, knowing at a chicken bone that's already picked in. Are we going to just... Nice to see you again. I'm just enjoying my dinner. Yes, I have this before. What's the latest gossip around the camp? Did you ever meet Lokin? The gangly young man who lived a few tents over. Apparently he struck out for the wastes. Yes, I know. He's planning to become a crow and seek his fortune. Yes, I know, I met him. It's suicide if you ask me. Everyone knows a crow's life is short and brutal. But I guess you could say the same thing about the life in the camp. How are you holding up since the attack? Well, I still have trouble sleeping at night, but I survive. A lot of people were killed, good folk who were out in the open trying to save others. Why are the good folk always the one who suffer? Thanks for stopping by. Should we try... Maybe we get a different situation this time around. Let's see. You lie in wait in the camp outskirts as twilight turns to dusk. Yes. Black armor guards. Yes, I know. Okay, another child runs out. No. Once again, only 40%. I will not. The same situation that we had before. Yeah, let's go home. Now, we did give the food... Okay, we still have 8 points, we are not hungry, so that is lucky. Let's go ahead and make the sword. We are interested in... So, Cork is the protection money guy, then Griswold is the grave robber, Brandon. Brooding and silence. Tart face, shaven, blade. Okay, he is not very talkative, so I don't know. Let's just make the sword. Right. We have the silver, we have the gold, we have the wood, but 5 points of wood. For a two-handed sword, we can use 2 points for the handle. I don't know, I guess we will see. Anyways, let's get started. That's going to be 7 of our 8 points. Well, we might as well start with the handle, I suppose. So, it's going to be a two-handed sword. First, let's give this one this crossguard. Yeah, default shape, I suppose, but a bit narrower. And let's make it... Let's use this big handle there. That's already 3 points, never mind. Might be a bit easier than I expected. And then taper it down, like so. That is 5.4. We can make this one a bit easier on us. Let's make this one that long and this one that long. Have the bottom a bit longer than the top. We have enough wood in the sword. Very good. Next up, let's use this big round pommel this time, but shrink it down. That's fine. And what if I use gold for the engraving instead? So if I put this engraving right here, for example, let's make it as big as possible, try to position it right in the middle. And if I use gold for it, can I do it without any special skill? No, I cannot. Okay, so we need to have some inlay skill or something. And if I color this one gold, that's going to be 1.2, a bit much. I will still leave this one here, I suppose. Might as well make it a bit flashy. In fact, let's have the smaller ring as well. And not quite centered. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, unfortunately, wait. If I toggle the environment, I think some of them will allow us to look under the blade, right? Yeah, there we go. Let's put the engravings on the bottom as well. Yeah, there we go. Now they are symmetrical. Okay, so the hilt, I think, is almost good. The pommel is fine. Let's make the crossguard silver, I suppose. There we go. So the materials, not quite 0.9. Fine. Let's make it a bit longer. There we go. So the material are completely satisfied. Good. Now we just need to make the actual blade, and that's it. Let's go for it. And on this one, I will put some flourishes up, obviously. Oh, right, she's asking for a curved blade. Well, in that case, I think I will make it a single blade sword. Which means we need to add one more width. Yeah, one more of these, but I will take off this side. So this one will be turned all the way down. Next up, we need to make the other side a bit wider. So I will get rid of the width change of this one, that's it. And I will add one more, but only on this side. So make this side a bit wider. And now we just need a couple of steps. There we go. Okay, so sharp enough. It is a single blade sword now. Very good. All right. Now, I still want to have that edge or the taper end maybe here, or the cross section. So tell you what, add another cross section. This one will have this one go that way, and we will add a extra flourish like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, but let's change the shape a little bit. Let's go for this one and run it this far. Yeah, I think this will do quite nicely. Okay, and now we need to turn this one into a curved blade. This point might be a little bit of an overkill, but she was asking for a narrow point, so whatever. Next up, curvature. Let's make it obviously from hilt to tip. The other way, please. Yeah, there we go. Well, what do you think? Not very interesting, but well, this is as much flourish as we can put on it, I suppose. It has a nice edge, and yeah, if we had the fullers unlocked, I could make it even more interesting, but you know what? Let's bring the curve back a little bit. So the second cross section, let's do it like this. There we go. Yeah, this one looks a bit better now, but I think I will bring the point back a little bit. This one is a little bit too much. Let's do it, yes, more like this. Yeah, that's a bit more believable, right? And now, once again, we need to adjust the cross-section, and after that we are done. So, cross-section, you will go more like this. Yes, I think I am pretty happy with this. A gold pommel, silver cross guard, nice wooden handle, and a nice curved single blade, single edge blade, there we go. Yeah, if I had the fullers, I could make the flat part a lot more interesting, but you know what? I will settle for this. Let's name this one the... Oh wait. Before we name it, I just noticed that this part is not very polished. Let's go back to the hilt, and for silver, I want to polish it. Yeah, there we go. That will look a lot nicer. Same goes for the gold. Yeah. And in fact, I also noticed that the handle is a bit wider than the crossguard, so let's bring that one down as well. I want this one to be as nice as possible. This is our ticket into the town. Yeah, I think I will be quite happy with this one as a ticket into the town. Obviously, if we had more skill, we could do better, but you know what? This will do. Oh, right, wood. We need more wood. Okay, fine. This section will be this one as well. This will give us... we need 2.2. Well, quite a long handle, but well, we need it to be satisfied with the wood. So, right, I think we can call this one good enough. 1 point of silver, a little bit too much gold, but you know what? Fine, I will be okay with that. And everything else appears to be fine. Yeah, I think we can go with this. Now, what do we name this one? stalwart. Sure. Alright. I think we can finalize this one. Offered to Sergeant Glenn. At last is done. The blade that will spell the difference between entry to Eren Keep or swinging at the end of rope. Chef has been watching you work the forge for the last hour, hovering at the periphery of your encampment. Is this it? Are you done? This is it. I might take it to the outer gate, hopefully. Either that or the grave. There is nothing more I can do. Just have to hope. I might take it to the outer gate, hopefully. Good luck, Smith. She pulls you into a tight embrace. And remember what I said about my uncle. If you do make it into the city, yes, I know. Lucius, right? I will hopefully we remember the name. Okay, let's go for it. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that at the end of the day we need to go to the outer gate, but we still have 1 point left. Do we break something down or do we help someone out? We could help out Inrus. Yeah, you know what? Let's help someone out before we go inside. At least hopefully we go inside. Okay, so apparently we need to sharpen it, whatever this is. Ooh, nice blade. Right, so regular point is satisfied, just need to be a bit sharper. There we go. Not quite sharp enough, which means we need to make it a bit thinner. Yeah, there we go. But now the weight is not quite there, so I suppose if we make it a bit wider. Yeah, there we go. Now the point is not quite there, which means the point needs to be hammered down. There we go. Done, 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 and done. Yeah. All right, I think we can call this one done. Here you go. And we are out of points. We cannot do anything else. Let's go to bed. Or let's go to the gate. Obviously, this is where we need to go. The outer gate looms over the camp, both threat and beacon. Refugees gather, pleading for entry, while impassive guards look on. Approach the gate. The guard is slouching against the ramparts, glazing out over the horizon. His heavy-lidded eyes flicker your way only when you call for his attention. Huh? What do you want? The guard's sneer is especially pronounced this evening. I finished making the sergeant's sword. The guard looks you up and down from atop the wall. At last, with a roll of his eyes, he turns and bellows a command. The portcullis rises, the gate doors swing open. I'm going to see you swing one day, Worm. Hopefully today. I don't think so. You walk into the gatehouse and wait for the sergeant's arrival, suffering the impatient glares of the guards. The sergeant is otherwise occupied. By the time she arrives, the first rays of dawn are in the sky. Wow, entire night. Let's see it then. Hand her the sword. She takes the sword in hand, holding it up to the light. She twists the blade this way and that, her eyes glittering. Your heart stops beating until she finally pronounces. Acceptable. By official decree of the Crown, sanctioned under the grace of the Masked King, I declare you worthy of stepping into the role of Eren Keep's new swordsmith. Her voice is flat and motionless, her eyebrow arches as she awaits your reaction. Thank you, praise the Masked King. I am beyond grateful. That sword is better than acceptable and you know it. Admit it, you are impressed. I don't want to press my luck. I am beyond grateful. Remember, your entry into Eren Keep is a privilege, not a right, and it can be taken away as easy as a snap of my fingers. Your every waking moment should be spent considering how you can be useful to the city. There is an empty forge in the artisan's quarter that has not been maintained since the previous smith vanished. It is now your duty to fix it back up and start supplying swords to the city as soon as you can. Consider this a part of your rehabilitation into civilized society. Whatever you say, I'll do my best for the good of Eren Keep. Wait, the previous smith vanished? Silent nod. Yeah, what about the smith vanishing? And you'd best think about that before you get up to any mischief. Okay, so apparently the previous smith maybe was, well, exposed of. Without another word, the sergeant turns and marches away, leaving you standing in awkward silence beside the gate guardsman. Here. A piece of parchment bearing the Masked King crimson wax seal is thrust into your hand. It grants you the right to work within Eren Keep until such a time as His Majesty deems otherwise. You have gained permit allowing you to live and work in Eren Keep. Finally. Get out of here. Can you give me directions to the forge? Just shut up. Go. You're lucky you don't have a noose around your neck. Enter Eren Keep. Emerging from the gatehouse, you find yourself in the last safe city in all of Talind. Okay, so we have finished the prologue apparently. Wisps of smoke from morning cook fires raise corkscrews in the sky. The dawn air is filled with the hum and bustle of a city waking up. It does look actually kind of nice place. Ask for directions. You approach the first friendly face you see, a tall youth with a broad frame and a tangled mop of straw-colored hair. He's holding a wheelbarrow stacked high with leather hides. Hello, can I help you? Apparently there's a forge somewhere with my name on it. I'm the new swordsmith in town. Oh, you're Tessen's replacement? I've got a delivery to make, but... He glances at his wheelbarrow of goods, then shrugs. A short detour won't hurt. I'll show you the way to the forge. Thank you very much. Offer to push his wheelbarrow. Toughness 65. Should be easy enough. 65% is more than 50. Let's try. Are you sure? It's quite heavy. Taking the handles, you quickly find the truth of his words. The barrow is heaped high with a tower of swaying leather hides, and your muscles, still weakened by starvation and illness, shudder under the strain of controlling it. Success, good. But you're able to steer it nonetheless. Kesvin pats your shoulder in appreciation. Thanks, friend. I've been pushing that barrow since dawn. As you follow the man through the streets of Eren Keep, you can't help but marvel. When was the last time you saw people look so happy and well-fed? So many intact houses, so many proud spires. In a city this size, how can you be in need of a blacksmith? What did you mean when you said Tessen's replacement? Yeah. Tessen Felber. The master swordsmith went missing a few months ago. No one else in Eren Keep can make high-quality blades. He went missing? What happened? You would have to ask someone else. I sometimes delivered letters to old Tessen, but I didn't speak to him much. He scared me, to tell you the truth. I never met a man who could scowl like that, like a walking thundercloud. Hopefully whatever happened to him doesn't happen to me. Sounds like the kind of a man you would miss. Well, I'm glad there is a vacancy I could fill. Hopefully whatever happened to him doesn't happen to me. The youth laughs awkwardly. Your arms start to ache from the strain of the barrow. You know, my father was a smith too, back before the Sundering. Back when he was... He hesitates, searching for the right word. Around. My elder brother was the true apprentice, the one meant to inherit the forge, but I picked up a few things. Why didn't you go into the family trade? What kind of things did you pick up from your father? You know, there's likely a room in my forge for an assistant. Ooh. With skills like that, you're wasted holding goods. What kinds of things did you pick up from your father? I know my swagging from my fullering, my hardy tools from my heading tools. I understand the theory, but it's all from quiet observation rather than practice. I would love to properly learn my father's trade, would feel like I was honoring him. Why didn't you go into the family trade? I was a sickly child, frail of body. My father didn't trust me with a hammer. Judging by his nonchalant handling of the heavy wheelbarrow, that sickly childhood is long behind him. You know, there is likely a room at my forge for an assistant. Really? Aye, good assistants are hard to come by. I could do with a second pair of hands around the anvil. Aye, good assistants are hard to come by. The youth's excited expression fades. He glances down at his wheelbarrow. Unfortunately, I'm stuck working for the tannery. How come? It's a long story, but I'm deep in debt to the Hansberg League. They are the merchant guild who run all trade in all of the keep. They have me working the tannery until my debt is cleared, and you can defy the league in Eren Keep and live. There must be some way to get you out of this. Well, you could talk to the owner of the tannery, but he's not exactly a reasonable man. Keep walking. The air buzzes with laughter and friendly chatter. The market stalls bustle as coin and rumors are swapped. It's almost enough to make you forget the guards who stand at every corner, hands on the hilts of their swords. Here we are, the artisan's quarter. Your forge is just ahead. There it is, a sprawling building by the canal. Stone chimney stack jutting stubbornly against the sky. The door is hanging off its hinges. You set the wheelbarrow down with a sigh. Thank you for guiding me. How long has this base been abandoned? I'll get this place up and running in no time. How long has this place been abandoned? It looks completely wrecked. The guards ransacked the place after the smith went missing. He sticks out his hand. My name Keswin, by the way. Nice to meet you, Smith. The pleasure was mine. There will be a space in my forge if you get free of your tannery, Keswin. Appreciate it. And thanks for helping me with the barrow. Why don't you take some of these offcuts? I'm sure you can find a use for them. Ooh, +8 leather. Thank you. He walks away, the barrow's wheel weaving across the cobbles. A new location has been marked on your map, the tannery. Enter your new workshop. The door yawns open, spilling sunlight into a long-neglected domain of dust and cobwebs. A rat skitters away into the shadows. Check the storage area. Ooh. Luckily, there's a cache of supplies still there. Enough to keep you and your business for a few days at least. But it won't last forever. 50 steel, leather, wood. Okay, great. You will need to find an ironmonger who can keep you supplied with good steel, a carpenter who can supply wood, and someone who sells decent quality leather. Well, we already have the tannery, I suppose. Draw up some posters. No one in Eren Keep knows the forge is back in business. If you put up some posters around town, you will get the word out. You take the time to scratch some crude advertising on scraps of paper, your name, your address, a motto. We don't just forge weapons, we forge perfection. Metal to match your metal. Cutting edge blades at cut price rates. And today's victories, tomorrow's heirlooms. I am mostly going for, you know, nice stuff anyway. So today's victories, tomorrow's heirlooms. That should do. You put your quill to paper and soon have some posters ready. Get started. Still air was barely an afterthought of the scent and sound of iron, flame and smoke. But all the tools are here. And the chimney holds its breath, and the anvil steel is tuned, and your hammer strikes a prelude. And your flint taps the count off as you light the fire. Okay, well, once again we run super long, but you know what? At least we are inside the keep. Now, we have 8 points of action left. I will do some jobs in the next episode, and then I will try to look for chefs and uncle, I suppose. But anyways, for now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.